Welcome back, guys, to Steven's DIY Auto Repair. So today we're going to be taking a look at this oxygen sensor. So this is probably going to be part 2 of a previous video that I did where I switched out an oxygen sensor for this one that's an OEM but from the junkyard. So unfortunately, the code only stayed off for a couple hours and now it came back on. So I'll take you back in the car and let you take a look. Okay guys, so we're back in the vehicle. I'm not gonna turn the vehicle on because it's late right now. But as you can see, now we have a P0032 code, which is the oxygen sensor heater control circuit high. So now it was low, now it's high. So let's go back under the hood and check this out. Okay guys, so now we're back under the hood. So I probably should have mentioned this before, but I was very concerned and focused solely on the O2 sensor because I knew the other one was the wrong one, and now that we have an original one in, it's still possible that we could have a bad O2 sensor because it is coming from the junkyard. But before we go and spend $150 or more on an O2 sensor, it's important to start checking your wires, and that's going to be our next step. So we're going to have to go ahead and take this engine cover off and start checking our connectors, our wires, and I know I'm going to get some comments about this, but we do have a tear in our intake system. So that also could be the problem. We're just waiting on this part to come in. So I'm gonna go ahead and rule out the wires, the connectors and stuff. And it might just be this here vacuum leak that we got here. So let me go ahead and start taking this apart. Okay guys, so you have 2 bolts or fasteners holding it on. It's gonna be a 10mm. And they just come right off. Sometimes you can just loosen it, crack it loose with your fingers. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and pull this one off. There you go. Okay guys, so it's going to be kind of hard to bring you through all this, but we're just going to go in here and closely inspect all these connectors, all these wires, and make sure that everything is good to go. So I don't know if you guys can see those 2 wires right there. They're connected to the engine block. Those are going to be ground wires. So that also could potentially be giving us a bad reading. I don't think it is, because if we had a bad engine ground, we would have multiple issues, not just one, because there's not one ground for every sensor or component on your car. They usually all tie in together in one ground. We'll use multiple sensors or components, if you will. But we'll go ahead and clean that. See if I can show you guys a little bit better. So what I'm talking about is right down in here, these 2 wires. See how it's kind of corroded with oil and stuff? So we're gonna go ahead and take that apart and see if that won't help clean that up a little bit. As you can also see, we'll probably be doing another video soon on replacing your valve cover gasket, because you can see that it's leaking, or it has been leaking. And then if I take you guys over here to the back, see all that puddle of oil. No bueno, no good. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this stuff and start cleaning it up, and I'll bring you guys right back. Okay, guys, I'll show you what I have so far. So we have our ground connectors here, and I already started kind of clearing off some of this, if you guys could see that. And then, where did it go? Look at this electrical connector. You always want to check your electrical connectors. Looks okay inside. Let me see. It'll focus. Looks pretty good inside, a little dirty. We'll spray it out with some electrical cleaner. But yeah, that's where we're at so far, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and keep cleaning this off, and we'll bring you back. All right, guys, so I'll come over here, show you a little bit of what we did. So we just cleaned out some of these connectors down here that were caked full of oil. So we got this eyelet cleaned. This in here where you see those wires. Inside the eyelet we're just covered with oil. So that could be our problem, hopefully. Because I don't see, I cleaned this one too. I don't see any breaks or corrosion in the wires. So it looks pretty good. So we're gonna give this a minute to go ahead and let the connector cleaner here dry, and then we're gonna put it back together. Okay, guys, so before we put all this back together, I don't know if you can notice, see how it's bent up really bad right here? It's protected pretty well, but I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and make sure we don't have no breaks or kinks right here, because this car is very old and everything under here is pretty brittle. So I'm gonna check that out. It's kind of bugging me before I put everything back together. So stand by. Okay, guys, get this fixed here. So we split open this, and the wires are good. So we're gonna go ahead, put this back on, and I have some special tape for the heat compartment, or for the engine compartment, I should say, that resists heat. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this wire back up with this, get everything put together, and let's go from there. Okay, guys, so we got it all put back together, but before we did, we left the O2 sensor connector apart, and what we did was we tested all 4 terminals inside the main connecting harness. Sorry I couldn't show you guys. It's a little hard to try to do this and film at the same time. So the bottom right, I'll give you the actual numbers of the pins. It's 1 through 4, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't have the diagram in front of me right now. But the bottom right, which I believe is number 2, is 12.28 volts. So that's battery voltage, which is good. We have the bottom left at 2.90 volts. The top right is 5.8 volts, which is, I'm assuming, our signal from the ECM, which is good. 5 volt reference. We have a top left, which is 3.3 volts. And that's pretty typical for the it's pretty typical for the air-fuel ratio sensor heater wire. The 5.8 for the reference voltage It might be just a tad bit high, so that might be where we're getting our circuit high at. But we're gonna go ahead and clear the code and see if it comes back. If it doesn't, we'll take it for a test drive and hopefully that solved our problem. If not, it's looking like it's gonna be the O2 sensor, and we're probably gonna have to pull the trigger on that $150 sensor. So we'll bring you guys back. Okay guys, so sad to say we're back from our test drive and our check engine light is still on. I did hook the OBD2 port, I did hook the scanner back up and it's giving the same code. I didn't show you guys because it's late and I'm tired. So yeah, I'm thinking of calling it as a bad O2 sensor and probably gonna have to pull the trigger on that expensive one, which is probably what we should have done in the very beginning, but I wanted to try to go this route. See, sometimes cheap is not always better. So there you have it, guys. Stay tuned for part 3, and let's see if we ever get this fixed. Alright guys, well, I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification if you'd like to be notified when I put out another video. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. Until next time, have a good one.